Alright, so I guess it's time to ruffle a few feathers because I'm gonna talk about bullying today. And this is something I'm pretty intimate with. I mean, I've been bullied for many different things: my voice, my weight, my looks, clothes I wore. I mean, you fucking name it. I got picked on for it. I'm sure somewhere along the lines, whether it be my brother or kids at school. So I've watched, I don't know why, but all these anti-bullying things have been coming up on Facebook lately, and it's really got me thinking. So to me, even though it's a good cause and you have good purpose and principle behind it, the whole stop bullying and anti-bullying thing is fucking pointless. And here's why. Here's why I think that way. I have been bullied. That's anyone who knows me knows that, at least from school or something. As I got in high school, it's not as bad. But, grade school and middle school, it was pretty tough. So my reason being is bullying's always going to be prevalent and around because we as people are violent in nature, and that's just the way shit is. There is no other way around that. Think back to the olden times. Cain killed Abel. I'm not religious, but there's that fucking story, and that's fucking the beginning of human race kind of thing. Like, it's way back there. But thinking sooner than that, like the medieval era, slaying people for land, power, or like you gotta think about the Vikings. I guess is a real hot subject nowadays. Vikings, sailed across seas to pillage other lands. Obviously it was for them to survive, and that's how they felt, but it was still violent regardless. Or even all their fucking wars fought over religion of all things. Fucking blows my mind. I'm not religious and I don't want to talk bad about anyone else's religion, but it just blows my mind how, you think of religion, you think of like peace and love and stuff like that. There's been fuck tons of wars fought over that. It blows my mind. Even like more recent over material things like oil, fucking minerals, shit like that, or fucking wars over one's opinions against other people's opinions, like the Civil War or Revolutionary Wars. We as people are just fucking violent. So I firmly believe that we should prepare our kids for bullying. Like, that's gonna happen. Like, somewhere, somehow, it's gonna happen. And I can't say it happens to every child, but it happens to a good number of them. It happened to me. It happened to people I knew. I thought it was normal. I still think it's normal. Builds character. I think I wouldn't be the guy who I am today if it wasn't for all those kids that bullied me. I'd probably be less of in your face, I imagine, because I'm pretty outspoken. There's no need for holding shit back when it comes to my feelings. At least, on that subject. But there's also the kids that take it the wrong way too, and they take their lives or they take other people's lives, which I can't agree with. I could say I wish it didn't happen, but it's gonna happen, and people thinking that they can get rid of it are, pretty naive, I guess is a word. I hope I'm not good with words. Anyway, what I'm getting to is when when I'm saying prepare for bullying, I'm saying teach your kids how to defend themselves, or help somebody else in need. And what I'm saying is, the only way I've ever known to deal with bullying is to beat the shit out of whoever's picking on me, and it worked wonders. They left me the fuck alone after that. You know why? Because they're a bunch of little bitches too. Like, the odds of them fighting back and actually being successful, pretty slim, unless they have a huge size difference on you or a skill level, like they've been trained, I guess. But at the young age like that, the odds are no. It's more of a size matter or numbers. They gang up on you, I guess. But even then, even if they do win the fight, they're gonna know next time they pick on you, you're gonna fucking swing, and they're gonna be a little more hesitant to maybe not pick on you. You know why? Because they don't want to get hit in the face. No one does. And on the other subject of being bullied, and I mean, I've been bullied pretty harsh. So I can't remember most of the people that bullied me. Some of them, but not most. But what really did stick with me was the people that sat there and watched, and just watched. I mean, I'm not saying like they were egging it on or cheering or adding to it. They were just simply watching and just stood there and did nothing. Those are the ones that really stuck with me. I mean, I could see their faces clear as day in my head. For the reason being is I would go home at night after being picked on and beat up. Why would these kids not help me? Why would they just stand there and watch? Does that mean that what these bullies are telling is true, that I am a worthless piece of shit with a fucked up voice and overweight fat ass and good for nothing and all the other stuff they might have said to me, or to anyone else for that matter? That shit, that's what stuck with me, is sitting there at night wondering why nobody would help me. And that I want to say it did more damage, but it really just stuck with me, is why, like, what was their reason? Maybe they were afraid. Maybe they just didn't want to get involved, Those are all valid assumptions too. But I'm saying, what I mean is, the bullying itself, I eventually learned to brush off, because people are people and that's the way it is. But what stuck with me is, I was always taught to help people when I can. So when those people were helping me, it made me really think that I was a piece of shit, like everyone was saying. And like I said, that stuck with me. That's still something I think about, actually. And on a side note, as I got into middle school and I started fighting back and beating people up that were picking on me first, like defending myself, I got to the point where people left me alone, and it was nice. And then a lot of the people that picked on me all of a sudden started talking to me in a civil manner. It might not have been right away, but eventually, things mellowed out. And then other kids that were the standby kids, watching, they talked to me more. Then eventually I got more and more friends, and everything became normal. In 8th grade, these kids had, about 6 or 7 of them had this kid painted a corner in the boys' locker room for PE. And, we were all in the same grade, so we all knew each other. I actually still remember the kid's name that was being picked on, but I ain't gonna say it for, privacy issues and all that stuff. I remember this pretty vividly because, this was one of the first times I ever got to help somebody and felt good about it. But these kids had this kid in the corner, and we're just kicking him and beating the shit out of him and, whatever else. And our boys' locker room, the PE teachers' fucking offices had 2 windows, you know, and they were both in their office. They could see, like, why. I don't understand why they didn't do anything. It was baffling to me, but they didn't, and I felt like it was going on for a good lot of time. It probably only a minute or two, but that shit goes by so fast. You just don't have really a time to think about it, so I just kind of reacted. And the sad part is I was friends with a lot of kids that were beating up on this other kid, and I jump in and he starts swinging. And I just fucking for the fences, like I knew I was gonna lose. There's too many of them. Yeah, I just started swinging, and eventually they all kind of backed off and went about their own way. They didn't even try to fight back, which was surprising to me. And then the other kid, he was sitting in the corner crying, you know. And I remember looking down at him like, get up. This isn't over. Get up. You need to get up. Stand up for yourself. Sitting there crying, just taking a beating isn't going to do shit. Except get your ass kicked. And I'm not saying go and physically hurt these kids to where they're hospitalized or, you know, stuff like that. I'm saying do enough to where they hurt and don't want to fight you anymore and you can walk away. I'm not saying go out and just fucking beat the shit out of random kids that pick on other random kids, but definitely help somebody out when they need it. And most of the time they're going to need it if they're in that situation. But me and that kid helped. You know, we were friends all through high school at that point. It's really unfortunate we don't talk anymore, but it is what it is. And in life, you grow apart. So I guess that's his final message. For kids that are being bullied or picked on or whatever you want to say. And, you know, you may not always be, how the fuck do I put this? Finding the right words for me is kind of a bitch. Obviously, you know, you're being picked on. And you know what? You might not be a fighter. You might not be that person to stand up and throw blows and be a scrapper, you know? And that's fine. But you gotta stand up for yourself in some way or some fashion. The biggest thing is to know, don't give up. It will eventually get better. It did for me. It did for a lot of the people I know. It's just at that age range where fucking kids are just mean to each other. And unfortunately, they fucking find something in you. Until you tell them to go fuck off, pretty much. Like I said, the way I always found that worked for me every time was I fought. Like, I threw fists. I did what I could. I mean, I always want to fight. But at the end of the day, they knew the next time they picked on me, it was going to go to a fight. So they pretty much limited it, you know, or they completely stopped. And you may not be that person. That's okay. Maybe your friend is. Asking for someone for help isn't a bad thing. Asking a teacher for help, I guess you could do that. I'm more of that kind of person that solves my own problems, even though technically it's not always right. You know, I've been there. I know what it makes you feel like. I know deep inside you question everything. Like, am I really that big of a piece of trash? Am I really that ugly to look at? Am I that horrible to talk to? Does anyone really want to be my friend at all? Why not? You know? The big thing is, you gotta turn that instead of into straight depression and I guess anger, but I was gonna say turn it into anger and use it against them and not. I mean, I'm not saying take guns into schools and start shooting people. That's not the right answer, and it never will be. But stand up for yourself. If you stand up for yourself, they're most likely gonna back off. And the reason being is because they're big cowards. That's why they have numbers. I've only ever seen very few cases of where a bully doesn't have his little fucking henchmen bitches behind him. Rarely. And that's your sign. When they have to have numbers to come at you, that's when you know that deep down they're cowards. So if you stand up to them, they will back down. You may have to get in a fight. They might try to go physical on you to really suppress that coming out and going against them. Swing. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me, but swing. And you only got to hit them once, right in the face. That's all it's going to take. And you might lose that fight. That's okay. But in the end, they're going to think back to that part where he got hit in the face and was like, damn, that really hurt. Do I really want to get hit in the face again? The answer is going to be no every time. Nobody wants to get hit in the face. I just hope that my little experiences can help you in a way. I know I'm not the best example out there, but I'm someone who did live through it. I am someone who fought through it, and I feel like I conquered it. Because I go through life anymore, I don't get pushed over by anybody. Even my fucking bosses, like, I tell them my mind all the time. They may hate it, and they may not like me, but you goddamn know they respect me. You know why? Because they don't want to hear it. At the end of the day, they know where I stand. They know how I feel. Maybe that's not important to some people. It's important to me. Maybe it's important to you. Who knows? The important thing is not to give up. And definitely don't go shooting up schools. Nobody wins at that point. And it doesn't solve anything. Because you may kill somebody else you didn't intend to. And then that's on you. The best advice I can give you from my experience is to fight them. To punch them. When it gets to that point, when you feel like you can't take anymore, and they're not letting up, punch them in the face. And just go for it. I know I'm probably going to get a rash of shit if people ever do see this video. And that's okay, I understand. A lot of people don't agree with me. And that's their right. That's their right to not agree with me. But that's how I feel. And when I see these anti-bullying things and you know, whatever else they might use, like ads or videos or whatever else, it really gets me thinking, like, were these kids ever actually bullied, or were they the ones that just stood by and watched? Because I really hope those people that just stood by and watched felt just as bad as me, because it makes kids feel bad when you just stand by and do nothing.